Okay, remember this person? Anita Sarkeesian. When will gamers understand that criticism isn't censorship? Of course, it's censorship. That's what she's working for. This is way back 2015. Why am I bringing this up? 6 years old, right? Because here we are. Sony says hashtag me too, streaming behind stricter limits on sex and games. That's why, because the engine never stops. And this tells you what hashtag me too really is about. It was never about sexual assault. I've always said so. What it's really about is domination of men and taking away the stuff that they love. This has no rights to do this. If there's sexual content in the game, all they have to do is put 18 plus, and you can have all you want. Now, concerns over legal and social action should just be legal. Social action tells you. Against sexually explicit games have caused it to revamp guidelines on what it allows on its platform. See that? See that? You see, there shouldn't be anything. All there should be is like a warning sticker, just like movies. Just like movies. They can have sexual content in a horror film, for example, and they just rate it R. It's because, like I said before, the girls like books and horror and movies. So they're hands off. This shows you that they're out to stop guys from enjoying pleasure. Last year, Sony delayed the launch of Xseed Games of Senran Kagura Burst Renewal. I know that game. As a bunch of pretty girls, images of pretty girls in skimpy outfits, telling the publisher it wanted the game mode featuring sexual interactions with underage girls removed. This is a lie. They aren't underage girls. That now appears to have been part of the larger policy shift for the PlayStation Make Air. As Wall Street Journal today reported, the adoption of stricter standards from Sony on sexual content in games since last year. See, they're taking away your toys because you like it. Sony is concerned and the company should become a target of legal and social action. What do they mean by social action? Who gives a shit about social action? It's illegal. An official of the Sony's U.S. arm told the paper, you know what, guys? This is what I've been talking about all this time. What you guys should be protesting and putting your money together for legal action against these people and saying this and pointing out that this is unjust and it's illegal. You can't stop grown men from enjoying female sexuality because that's what this is about. The new guidelines were inspired by two factors. First, the hashtag Me Too movement, there you go, that's what it's really about, has made executives more concerned about the company's reputation if it hosts and promotes content that sexually objectifies women. Objectifies is a bullshit term. You're not objecting it. You're enjoying their looks. Second, the advent of the video and streaming service like Twitch and YouTube means it's much easier for games on one region to get attention around the world. Good. By the way, Twitch streams, are they going to stop real life women from showing their bodies off and getting money from thirsty guys? No. So I'll guarantee you, when women make money off showing off their bodies in real life, that's fine. So, but they don't want guys to enjoy animated girls. See, this isn't just hypocritical. This is something you guys should be making legal action on. So even the content in games is more socially acceptable in one region than another. There's no guarantee that releasing in one where it's acceptable would prevent the company's image from being tarnished in other markets. It shouldn't be tarnished. Pornhub does not have a tarnished image, does it? Movies that put out sexual images in R-rated movies, they don't have a tarnished image. You understand? So this is bullshit. Nintendo told the Wall Street Journal that it doesn't regulate games for content except that it requires developers to have their games carry regionally appropriate game ratings. Yes, exactly. That's all they need. Well, Microsoft declined to comment on its policies. Of course it did, because they're going to lose either way. They either have to say, yeah, we allow grown men and young, grown teenage guys who were like 16, 17, 18, 19 to see bouncing tits and and on the screen. And they should be saying, yes, we allow that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not illegal. But they can't say that because they're scared. But they can't tell these guys either that, by the way, you're definitely not seeing this anymore. Or at least they don't want to come right out and say it, because that guys would be at least verbally in an uproar. As might be expected, some developers will make sexually explicit games are unhappy with Sony's move. Of course, they should be more than unhappy. They should be outraged. These guys who make these games, these harmless games, should be outraged. And this is, look, you don't know what they know what they will say until you complete the work and submit it for review. One Japanese studio CEO told the paper, and if they are not happy, even if they allow the same degree of sexuality a few days late before, we need to take it back and ask our staff to make adjustments. That's very costly. This is a cowardly thing for him to say, even though it's true, because this isn't just a case of cost. This is the case of men being denied pleasure. And the CEO should be able to say this. The Sony officials said the company doesn't have a written guidelines on what's acceptable or not, because the policy was introduced kind of suddenly in the wake of hashtag Me Too movement. I thought Me Too, guys, this is sarcasm, was about sexual assault. This is not about sexual assault. This is about men enjoying images of the female body. Animated versions. So that tells you that this is about female dominance over men. That's all it is. So let me know. Are you going to be dominated or aren't you? Last month, I suspect you are, producer of Senran Kagura franchise, Tanichiro Takaki, citing increased restrictions on sexual content in games as a reason for his departure. He had to get up and leave. He couldn't stand it. But at the same time, this is what guys do. They hang their heads down and they hope the problem will fix itself magically, or they get up and they leave and they hope they can find a place that hasn't been attacked. This guy, what's his name again? Takaki, he should be fighting these people legally. But men show no solidarity whatsoever. Makes me puke. I want to clear up other thing too in this old one. Let's say games. Let's say almost every episode of the YouTube series Tropes of Women Video Games includes variation of clear and ambiguous words. That's a lie. Sexual objectification is bullshit. Spoken by a cultural critic, Arnesian Sarkeesian. No, she's not a critic. She's not a coach. She's a part of a feminist hate movement, which, feminism is a hate movement. She's part of it, and she's been working for this the whole time. And guess what? It's too late. It's happening. It's happening. All you go woke, get broke, whatever you will call yourselves, it is over now, because they are going for Japan. You see, all you guys who said, who cares what happens to the Western world? You're running away, of course. All of a sudden, there is this problem. They're coming after Japan now. So once Japan's over, it's over. There's no other area for this. I take a look. This is our true gaming. This is how guys react. Now, he's talking about this. Should video game platforms ban games with women as reward trope? See? You see, like, you guys know the hero defeats the enemy and he gets the girl. That's always been there, and they want to get rid of that. Having talked with multiple Japanese developers over the past few months, I perceive that many of them feel uncertain just like their fans do. That's a lie. They are not uncertain, and their fans aren't uncertain. They want to see these hot girls. They want to be rewarded with the girl. They want to say, yeah, I beat the villain. Now where's my lady? And well, some, let's say, believe that they've identified the friction points with Sony and they'll be able to work around them in the future. Know what that means? That translates in that they're going to take that away from you guys. That being said, while most are reluctant to talk, of course they're reluctant to talk. Because again, they're talking about taking away something from men and they don't admit that's what they're doing. I have gathered a few interesting elements from my conversation with multiple developers and publishing sources. First of all, the general guidelines this recent censorship crackdown is based upon aren't recent at all. Okay. No, I've told you the feminists have been working all along. Those second wave feminists from the 1960s, they never stopped dressing. They never rested. They have been around for a long while, but Sony Interactive Entertainment has been rather lenient in applying them in the past. Of course, because they want to be friendly to their consumer base. As of late, they have been a lot stricter enforcing them on a global level, which is why so many perceive this as a change, which it is, at least in practice. So these guys held off for as long as they can. Now they're bending to the pressure. You know why they're doing it? Because you guys who play video games do shit to stop this. You don't show any solidarity, you don't work together, and you don't fight this. This takes you real, legal and political action now on your part. Otherwise, say hello, say goodbye to gaming. At least anything that you enjoy as a guy. During the early stages of the process of submitting the game for approval on PlayStation platforms, developers are required to disclose the kind of content as portrayed in the title, and that the platform holder will then circle back with its feedback on it. In other words, these platforms will be saying, sorry, these guys are enjoying this and we can't have it. At times, the final decision comes a lot later and causes issues with development or publication, leading to delays, unwelcome expenses for the studio. They're punishing the studios if they turn around and don't bend the knee. There also appears to be a hard ban on partial nudity, which there shouldn't, any more than there's a hard ban on any media that shows partial nudity. These women go to movies and there's partial nudities, there's full nudity, considering if it's rated R, right? And same with books. It's like I said, because women enjoy films and books, they're allowed. They will not be touched. But it becomes problematic when portrayed in combination with certain sensitive elements. The apparent age of the characters involved is the most obvious, but isn't the only one. This is bullshit. You know why? Yaoi is never touched. You know what yaoi is? That's man on men, that's gay male sex that young women and girls enjoy. And they often have underage characters. And that has been let alone this whole time. No one has ever stopped it. So they're only going after video games because the guys are enjoying it. And the thing is, look at what these guys see. Your bolded phrase says, another example when engaging the character sexually, as seen as something the player is rewarded for. You seem to be interpreting this very differently from what I think the phrase itself means. These guys are nitpicking. This is what problems with these guys. These are gamers. This guy, party business, should be outraged and saying, how dare they take away my games and my enjoyment? The problem with the game is if you grab someone's ass and you get $5. I didn't interpret it that way because I'm not aware of the games that do something like that. Do you know of any examples of games with something like this or harsh criticism of those games? See, there's such a pain. There's another guy. He's not outraged. Do you see a problem with guys and what's wrong with them? This is like the Jews in Auschwitz saying, well, they when they're gassing us, we're not actually breathing in poison. They're really kind of suffocating us. This is pathetic on every level. On every level. Here's one of the very popular gamers, gaming channels, Review Tech USA. Tom only Nita Sarkeesian again.
Oh, hey, it must be that annual time of year where Anita Sarkeesian has a really dumb take and I have to talk about her. I'll see you again in 2022, Anita.
See, and this is the posturing these people do. Look at this guy. This woman has made real strides at damaging what he loves to do. And like all these guys, they turn around and say, oh, let's posture. Let's posture and say this is stupid. This isn't stupid. Stupid is when you fail. Stupid is when you do something and you slip and fall and hit your face. This Sarkeesian, she's been effective all along. So this guy is upset, of course, now because his bread and butter is being affected. The stuff he loves is being affected. But until it was, none of these guys gave a shit. And even now, he doesn't have the power to voice just how serious this situation is. This is a serious situation. Games are serious because they're your enjoyment. They're just as serious as anything else in your life. If you're a gamer, this is your hobby. This is what you love to do. That's just like saying to a bunch of men, you're not allowed to go down to the bar. Bars are closed to men. It's taking you and making you a second-class citizen. I'd say even third. You are a cotton picker. And this is what these guys do. This guy has everything to lose. And all he can do is talk like this. Guys should be embarrassed. More than that, you should be humiliated. And you know something? At this point in history, guys, I am now changing my mind. I hope video games get destroyed. Because frankly, it's what guys deserve. Guys are letting this happen. And all they can do is posture and cope. Frankly, I hope video games just get destroyed. Let them go. You guys deserve it. Any of you video games or gamers who are like this guy, you deserve to lose what you love. Okay, goodbye.